Dr. Gabbard, you referenced the past intelligence reports and assessments on this, including that 2017 one that was signed off, as Ed noted, by every Republican on the Senate Intelligence Community, including the acting chair of the time, now Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who said in a statement that they did not find any evidence of Russian collusion, but they did find, however, is very troubling, and they found irrefutable evidence of Russian meddling. One, are you saying that he's wrong in that statement that he made then? And secondly, what would you say to people who believe that you're only releasing these documents now to improve your standing with the president after he said that your intelligence assessments were wrong?
Okay, so that is clearly a hard-hitting question from CNN's Kaitlan Collins, although I do think that it is unfair of Collins to assert that this entire Obama-Russia hoax from Tulsi Gabbard is just to improve her standing with Donald Trump. It's obviously more than that, Kaitlan. It's to distract from Jeffrey Epstein. Dun-dun-dun. Can't it be both? And so it's those two things, basically. By the way, that's not my theory. That's what Donald Trump just says on camera. Take a look.
Remember this, Obama cheated on the election. And we have it cold, hard, blue, and it's getting even more so because the stuff that's coming in is not even believable. So, and you should mention that every time they give you a question that's not appropriate, just say, oh, by the way, Obama cheated on the election. You'll watch the camera turn off instantly.
We had it cold, hard, blue, which is a thing that people say. But anyway, joking aside, he's just like, yeah, no, when they bring up Epstein, just talk about Obama. Just do that, whatever, something with Obama, I don't know, come up with something. So it's obviously, it's just a distraction and not a good one. And more right wingers are admitting it. It's clearly a distraction. That's all it's intended to do. But some people do think that Kaitlan Collins was being unfair there. And not just unfair, not just biased, not just fake news media, that she should effectively lose her job potentially because of that question. And the hack that I'm talking about is Meghan McCain, who tweeted, Kaitlan Collins is an absolute imbecile and a pure partisan hack. Have some respect for the two women standing in front of you who are exposing lies, deep corruption, and keeping the country safe. The White House should pull her credentials. Because Meghan McCain, like everyone on the right, believes that if you don't say things that make the great leader feel nice and cozy and warm, then you shouldn't be allowed to be in the media anymore. She believes that politically incorrect questions should result in you being canceled. That's what the right does. The media isn't free under this regime. It's supposed to be supportive of the fascist leader. That's all it's supposed to do. Also, I love the idea that Meghan McCain is calling Kaitlan Collins an imbecile. Come on, man. There are houses and then there are houses composed of glass. I'm just saying maybe you're living in the latter is all. And you should have respect for those two women. They're exposing deep corruption. Now, I do agree that they are exposing deep corruption, but I think it's unintentional and it's because they're doing a really bad job of distracting from the Epstein thing. They're inadvertently exposing how deeply corrupt this regime is. Now, it did take me a second to get to that tweet because Meghan McCain, for reasons that I will never understand, has me blocked on Twitter. I literally don't even remember why she blocked me. I don't talk about her that often. Now, if she were to block me after this segment, that I would understand, but I was pre-blocked. In any event, I also just want to point out, because you'll notice we didn't play any of Tulsi Gabbard's response because she doesn't have anything to say about this or anything else. She's just an empty, vapid nothing at this point. But she did have something to say back in 2018, I believe it was, when she went on Joe Rogan and admitted that Russia had interfered in the 2016 election. This is when she wanted to still be a Democrat. She wanted the power in that avenue. She was willing to admit that which is indisputable. But since then, now she wants power and money from the Republicans. And so she tells the prior Tulsi Gabbard to go F herself. She now needs to pretend that Barack Obama has done this thing. And don't pay attention to that though. She's got something new that's intended to distract you. It's this, she put this out on Twitter. And okay, Pepe Sylvia, I like your graphic design, cool vision board or whatever, but you can put as many bubbles and as many like red lines and circles or whatever. I get it, it makes for a good YouTube thumbnail, but it doesn't prove that Barack Obama made up any of this. And okay, you're not gonna listen to me. MAGA's not gonna listen to me or whatever. I'm just some leftist, I'm biased. But okay, listen to a conservative like Eli Lake of the Free Press, who said, as someone who was an early critic of the Russiagate narrative, I can report that Gabbard did not get the goods. Gabbard's evidence mainly relies on declassified intelligence assessments that state that Russia lacked the capability to change the tallies of state and local voting machines without being detected by the DHS, the National Security Agency, and the FBI. That is true as far as it goes. But the original charge was not that Russia hacked the polling stations. It was that it influenced the elections by hacking the Hillary Clinton campaign emails and then leaking them to the internet. None of the evidence Gabbard has produced contradicts that claim. And exactly, look, I'm not gonna say that there isn't somebody that thinks that Russia hacked the voting machines, but I've never claimed that. What reputable leftist has ever claimed that? It's that they took these documents, they gave them to WikiLeaks or whatever, and then they were put out specifically to distract from the damning news coming out about Donald Trump, like the him talking to Billy Bush and everything. They did that, and they did bot networks, and they did all those sorts of things. And you can say that did or didn't outcome the election. That's not what this report is about. It's just that they did try to influence the election. And Barack Obama putting out that statement or the report, that's just accurate. You may not like it. You may not like the fact that that narrative is true, but it is true. And as Kaitlan Collins points out, all of the Republicans in the Senate that looked into this agreed, including Marco Rubio. Now, I'm sure he'll be asked about this now. I don't know what his position will be. Again, like Tulsi Gabbard, he used to be a little bit more critical of the Trump administration. Now that's who signs his paycheck, so he's probably just going to agree to it. But back when he looked into it, he said it's not a hoax. They did try to influence the outcome of the election. And Tulsi Gabbard is just, I don't even want to talk about her anymore. It just makes me so sad to see that somebody can be so fake, have no principles, no values, just a desire for influence and money. And it's just pathetic to see.
If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.